Being bordered by both the Gulf of St. Lawrence and Gaspé Bay, Forillon National Park is blessed with spectacular seashores. However, for more than 30 years now, erosion has been a major issue in terms of preserving natural coastal environment and maintaining viable park infrastructures. On Penouille Sandspit, a paved trail leading to the beach was frequently washed out during major storms. Likewise, the service building located on the point was undercut by erosion. And same thing occurred at the Cap des Rosiers beach, where the road was destroyed by waves and storms almost every year, even though a protective riprap structure had been erected. Aside from the cost of repairs associated with this erosion, it is increasingly apparent that beaches have been shrinking to the point of vanishing altogether. For that reason, Forillon National Park started major work to restore its natural environment and revamp its infrastructures at the Penouille and Cap des Rosiers beaches.
Le parc s'est associé avec
Forillon National Park has partnered with the Université du Québec à Rimouski concerning various phases of work carried out at both Penouille and Cap des Rosiers. Obviously, their people are involved in all the academic research. They have a worldwide reputation in coastal erosion research, but they also have contacts up and down the St. Lawrence at different places where they've conducted studies. Thanks to their knowledge and expertise, we have more reliable data and a better basis for comparison.
Erosion is affecting more and more people who live near shorelines. I met with citizens who have experienced its impact.
At some point, everything collapsed. You could say everything headed into the sea. That was the clothesline post. It all came down.
Even my neighbor heard it. She thought it was thunder, but on a huge scale.
Metal stuff that bends and snaps. Talk about noise.
So you see, here is where our home was. So for sure, we lost part of the lot behind the house, though we didn't lose our house. And our garage was over there, so half the garage went down the cliff. If I had one bit of advice to give, I'll tell people not to build on the edge of a cliff. Totally. As the years go by with the erosion of shorelines that we hear so much about and the global warming, for sure these things are going to happen, same way that they happened to us. We were affected by this for a very long time.
As for the garage, let's say it represented a portion of our life savings.
It's true that coastal erosion is a natural phenomenon that has always existed. If erosion were a sculptor, you could say we have its talent to thank for the beauty of our shoreline landscape. But with climate change, however, the rules of the game have changed. Christian Fraser, a research associate in coastal dynamics at Lucar, tells us how.
One of the major factors that has intensified coastal dynamics is reduced ice cover, or ice cover that does not last as long as it used to. For example, not so long ago, a storm could be completely halted by the ice present when it hit. Now, however, because very often there isn't any ice before early January, a bad storm will produce considerable impact. The other major factor is sea levels. There's no doubt in anyone's mind that sea levels are rising in Quebec. Now, when the next storm hits, if the sea level is a bit higher than it was 20 or 50 years ago, and if there is supposed to be ice but in fact there is none, the end result is that even though storms do not necessarily occur more often than they used to, or they are no stronger than they were before, they will have a harder impact on shorelines.
Erosion has accentuated as a result of climate change. In order to confront this problem, we must change the way we occupy shorelines. And that is what Forillon Park is doing at Penouille and Cap des Rosiers. These efforts are in keeping with the aim of Parks Canada to preserve significant natural environments so that visitors, now and in the future, can enjoy seashores and be amazed by their resources and beauty.